problem was that when the decisions were being made to build Wildcat 1, the commissioners were not hearing from the majority. People really did not know what was happening, and if they did, they didn't perceive to be as invasive as it was. As you know, public notices are small and often overlooked in the newspapers, and not so much resistance was present, until the towers went up, and people saw how enormous and intrusive they were. The red blinking lights even disturbed my own summer evenings, and my home is 6 miles from the closest tower. You don't have the time to read, but all I could tell you, so in a nutshell, I just want to say that I wish I had the knowledge then that I have now. However, what I can do is try to pass on some of what I know onto the elected officials in the neighboring county, so that perhaps you can gain some wisdom from what I learned in the School of Hard Knocks. In Tipton County, my 83-year-old mother is mad at me since I signed agreements because she no longer has colorful birds coming to her feeders. My brother's view from his family dining room table used to be a vast expanse of crops and natural habitat. Now a pristine vista is forever marred by giant metal structures. Neighbors hate each other. Back and forth, letters to the editor have been selling papers for over a year. Families are torn apart, and because of the physical presence of the towers, will be there for 30 years. Those relationships will never be repaired. In short, this has become an issue that has divided our community like no other. It has torn our community apart. In May 2014 primary election is evidence that the majority of the voters supported candidates openly opposed to wind farm development, and an incumbent commissioner was voted out of office due to his unwillingness to listen to the majority on the issue, including wind. If I had to do this over, I would never enter into an agreement with any wind company now that I know what it's done to my home community. I'm not proud that my name is on those documents. The wind company has breached many parts of the agreement, but insists that their failures are minor. Their field representative is arrogant and cavalier in his attitude toward the people who are suffering with the effects of the noise and flicker. You can't lose something you never had, so you are not losing the supposed windfall of money that the project purportedly brings in. What you will lose, however, cannot be measured in dollars. You will lose the rural landscape as you know it, and you will lose the closeness of community spirit, because people will hate each other over this. And the presence of the towers will always be a constant reminder of the rift. Thus, the wounds will never heal. Please consider this. What do you think of a company that knows it has fierce opposition from a segment of the county's citizenry, but still wants to build in your county? It is akin to forcing themselves onto you when they know they are not wanted by those in the project area who have been affected by their presence and are receiving no compensation for the change in their environment. How much of a community partner would they be when they really don't care about the wishes of the people? I don't know anything about which facts are true and which facts are false with regard to property values and personal health issues, but I do know, as a fact, is any issue that has become so contentious that it has caused large groups of people to assemble and vehemently oppose it, and which has caused so much heartache and angst among the citizenry, just cannot be good for the whole. I do not feel that Tipton County will ever wholly heal from the deeply personal wounds incurred by many of the placement turbines in our county. I will leave you with this last piece of wisdom from someone who has been there, done that. As an elected official, public servant, if you must go forward with approvals that will allow wind farm development, and thus you become the reason a wind farm is built in the county, it will be a decision you will regret for the rest of your life. You will join me. Jane Harper, Tipton County Commissioner, 2009-2010.
Yeah, that was a good summary, because I think that it doesn't talk so much about all the facts that we're talking about with flicker and noise and property values. It just talks about the interpersonal relationships and what it does to the fabric of the community, and that really is what brought me to this decision. Anything else?
Mike?
Yes, sir.
Claude Berry. I
Yeah.
live on County Road 16.
Yes, sir.
We've had our travel trailer for sale. In fact, we sold it, but we've had two couples to come and look at that. They have no doubt to fight in this, okay? But, you know, it was windy here. And they mentioned about the wind. And anyhow, the one couple from Mansfield said they had friends in Hardin County. The other couple had friends in near Van Wert. Both of those have health problems. The doctors are saying it's because of these turbines.
Yeah.
I am not against the wind turbines. There's places for them, but there's places where we got wasteland out west, the prairies. Put it out there, not in my front door. And you know, as far as the farmers are concerned, you know, I have a problem with this. You have to have a helicopter, an airplane, I'm sorry, to come in, to fly on sometimes. That's gonna prevent it. They can't get up over top of us. And what are you gonna do? Who's gonna lose? And as far as this tax money, you know, it goes back to our lottery in this state. Where did that money go? Didn't we hear this at that time, that it was coming to our schools? My taxes have went up and up and up and up. It's this money to me, when they start bragging about how much money we're gonna have coming in, I don't go for it. And, you know, and it's not there. It's been proven. You know, all we hear is marijuana, the same way. The tax money coming in, it's money, you know. Would you sell your mother out? Not me. I'm against it. In Seneca County.
Thank you. I had one person over here, I thought. Yes, sir.
Yeah, John Wilson from Thompson Township. My main thing when I talk to people is nobody understands how big these things are. And from what I understand from the meetings, that they have to make them this big to make money, because the smaller ones that are at Van Wert are like 420 feet or something like that. You know, I'm not, but the you know, when I talk about almost 600 feet, you know, people don't comprehend what 600 feet is, and it just, you know, they look at the turbine in Bellevue, and it's going to be like that. It's like that's a pinwheel. You know, that has nothing to do with what's going, you know, a quarter mile away from your house or closer. You know, so you know, I mean, just, you know, if the word got out and one of these was up right now, I think you'd have a lot more opposition to this project. You know, because people don't know how big these are and how many they're going to be, and you won't be able to drive anywhere in this county without seeing them. You know, I mean, even, you know, you'll probably even from Tiffin here, you'll probably see. So it's, you know, I mean, Republic isn't that far away, and there's a lot going there, and West Lodi is, you know, from their map, is like carpet bombed. I mean, they're like all over the place there. I mean, I don't know how they fit so many in such a small area, but, you know, I'm just saying that it's, you know, I, you know, appreciate what you're doing, you know, and it's, you know, just the, you know, when one of these goes up, there's going to be a lot more opposition towards them, you know, and then it's going to be too late, you know, where it's, and they're just, you know, they're starting with Seneca. You know, we live right on the border of Huron, and that's like an X project. So they've already gone into those areas, started setting up leases, and they're going into Sandusky, and it's just like the people don't know what they're getting into, you know. So that's, you know, that's my concern. You know, when they go up, you know, the fire's already been set, you know. So, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Steve Marlowe, County Road 19. I have a neighbor who put up a 40-footer, and he lived probably 2 blocks from me. He ended up taking it down, but I could hear it when the wind would turn inside my house with the windows closed. You know, and as far as money coming in, we're going to have to subsidize this. These companies